Hello everyone, this is Manu and welcome to my YouTube channel Ethical Manu. And today I will be discussing a brief introduction of Bhagavad Gita written by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has been one of the most important scholar of the present times of the Vedic wisdom, of the Vedic knowledge, who started the International Society for the Krishna's Consciousness, or you can say ISKCON movement in 1966 in America. And later on, obviously, it was percolated down the line and it gets spread to the entire universe. That's a different story. But today we will be talking about the Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and what has been the true essence of this particular book, why we should read this book. It's not just a book, it is an epic historic text which talks about the criticality of life, which will give you different dimensions. Although it consists of 700 odd verses. Verses means shlokas, concised in 18 chapters, and with each chapter, I'm telling you, you will discover a new dimension of life. You will understand the new aspect of life. Right now, I am reading Bhagavad Gita. I have been a scholar of this book and I've become a fan. That is the reason why I am coming up with these videos, so that those people who really want to understand what exactly is the purpose of life, who really want to understand the cosmological power, I'm telling you, this will really gonna help you. So today in this video, I will be briefly discussing the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, and in the upcoming videos, I will be coming up with the chapter-wise conclusions and chapter-wise summaries of Bhagavad Gita. So without any further delay, let's get started. Now, Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, that is in English. The commentary, which is very much famous in the Western world because it is written in English, and that is why it's more important. The Western world is able to understand the truly aspects of Vedic knowledge with this text, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Now, why we say it is as it is? Because it is written word by word the way Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita in the form of song to Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. You can understand three things from this. If you really want to understand Bhagavad Gita, three things you should understand. First is, you have to consider yourself as Arjuna. Arjuna, you can understand, is a character of the story. Right? Second is, your life can be considered as the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And the third one is Bhagavad Gita itself, which you can correlate with Lord Krishna. So if you understand three aspects, you can understand the entire Bhagavad Gita. So you are Arjuna and your life is the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Bhagavad Gita is Lord Krishna. Fine? If you understand this much, I'm telling you, you can understand other things as well. So the entire life is actually a kind of chakravyuh of what is called the battle of Kurukshetra. So you can understand Lord Krishna want to make people understand the purpose of life, because there are so many people. He really want this Vedic knowledge to be explored by each and every living entity of this universe, and that is why he chose Arjuna to spread this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and that's why he spoke Bhagavad Gita to him, because he was having certain traits, certain personality traits, which is very important, and you also must have those personality traits. He was a very conscious person. You also have to become like Arjuna. You have to be a conscious person. By conscious, I mean that you must understand your personality. You must understand that what is that thing which is driving you into problems and how you can solve those problems. You have to inquire into the problems that you come across. If you question your problems, then only you seek the answer of those questions. And if you seek the answer of those questions, you will definitely understand Bhagavad Gita. Because similar is the way when Lord Krishna was asked different questions by Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So the entire story goes that way. You will enjoy this particular edition of Bhagavad Gita. You will enjoy these videos as well, and that's what I'm saying, because I'm also reading Bhagavad Gita as it is. So without any further ado, let's get started. So Bhagavad Gita was written 5000 years back and is the part of the Indian ancient history. You can understand that so many people have been deeply influenced and inspired by the text given in this book. I'll name some of the people. Whether you talk about Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Homi Jahangir Baba, or you talk about Swami Vivekanand, Nikola Tesla, George Harrison, these people have been deeply influenced and they have been versed with the kind of knowledge it gives to them. I mean, they achieved extraordinary careers after reading and after becoming a scholar of this particular text. So similarly, you can also understand this particular text, this particular inspiration by simply going through this book. You will definitely gonna achieve good careers in your life. And I'll tell you the most important thing. Bhagavad Gita actually talk about the science of self-realization. Now, what is science of self-realization? It is basically understanding the human nature, understanding the material nature from the deeper inside, understanding the relation of human with the God, understanding the relation of human with the supernatural power. And that is what is called science of self-realization. When you understand this thing, your intellect will increase 1,000 times. That's what I'm telling you. There have been so many people who actually spread the entire movement of Krishna's consciousness, which is actually related to Bhagavad Gita. Now, for example, Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimbarka, all these have been the scholars of Krishna's consciousness and they spread it through the lengths and breadths of this universe. So you can understand it is really a very inspiration story, you can say. Now, and they are also called, spiritual masters of this particular movement. That's very important. Now, one question I would like to address over here is that some people used to call Bhagavad Gita as a mythological text. That's a very important question. Whether it's a mythological text or not, that you need to understand. Look, this is not a mythological text, because for that you need to understand what exactly is mythology. Mythology is the study of myths, a study of fake beliefs, a study of something which does not exist in the material world, something which you cannot see with your naked eyes. That is a myth, and a study of all those things is mythology. Now, can you say that, or can you believe that Bhagavad Gita is a mythological text? No, it is not, because this is in the form of text. Right now, when I'm talking about this in 2022, this is in the form of a text. It is in the form of book, Bhagavad Gita, as it is written by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So it is in the form of book and you can see it, you can feel it. The ideas given in this particular text are actually implemented in the practical life. So when it is so, then how can you say that it's a mythological text? No, man, it is the most practical text. It is not mythology. It is not a fake. So it is not a mythological text because it exists in the material world, and something that exists in material world, how can you say that it's a myth? It is not a myth. It is not a fake story. It is the real thing. The ideas, the philosophy, the ethological construct given in this particular book can be implemented in the practical life. And that is why it is not a mythology. It is the epic historic text. That's it. That would be the real definition of this particular text. Apart from this, there are various other things. Now, how can you understand Bhagavad Gita? I've already talked about this as well. So, Bhagavad Gita can be truly understood by someone by simply asking certain questions to yourself. What are these questions? First is where you come from, what is the purpose of life, where do you go after death. So if you ask these three questions to yourself, you can actually understand Bhagavad Gita deeply and in a true sense. Now I've already talked about that how to go about Bhagavad Gita. So you need to put yourself in place of Arjuna. You need to consider your life as the Arjuna's life and the struggle of your life as the battlefield of Kurukshetra, as the battle of Kurukshetra. And Bhagavad Gita is Lord Krishna for you. So you can derive the knowledge, the wisdom from Bhagavad Gita like the Arjuna was deriving the same knowledge from Lord Shri Krishna himself. So in that way you can understand Bhagavad Gita. Now there are 5 basic truths given in Bhagavad Gita which I'm going to discuss in this video as well. What are these 5 basic truths? First is Jiva, second is Ishvara, third is Prakriti, fourth is Kala, and fifth is the Karma. I'll explain what these are. First, when you talk about Jiva, what is Jiva? All living entities that you see. It includes you, it includes the human beings, animals, birds, plants. All living entities comes under the Jiva. Second is Ishvara. Ishvara is the supernatural power, the divine controller of this universe. And you can understand that supreme personality, that is Ishvara. Third is Prakriti. Now Prakriti here is of 2 kinds, or you can say 2 types. One is superior Prakriti and the other one is the inferior Prakriti. Superior Prakriti includes the human, the living nature itself, and the inferior Prakriti, this tripod, this camera, this mic includes the material nature, or you can say inferior Prakriti. Now fourth one is the Kala, the eternal time, that you already know what is time. Fifth one is Karma. Karma, you can understand, are the activities that you do right from your birth till your death. What all you do in the entire span of your life, that is the activity, and that is the Karma. And you can understand that Karma is the most important aspect in these 5 truths. Although, why I'm telling this, I'll tell you why. Look, Karma is not eternal. All the other 4 aspects are eternal. They are constant. They will be there no matter what happens. But Karma is something which is dynamic. It depends on the person. It depends on the person's personality. It depends on, and it varies from person to person. So if you're a good person, you will do good karma. If you are a bad person, you will do bad karma. So if you do good activities, you will enjoy the fruits of your life. If you do bad activities, you will suffer losses. That is very clear, and that is given in Bhagavad Gita as it is. That is very important. So these 5 basic truths you must understand. If you understand these things, you can actually understand the entire explanation of your life. You can actually understand the true essence of life. You can understand the purpose of life. Now second thing is Prakriti. Now there is somewhere it is also given that Prakriti is controlled by the Ishvara. Fine. As the husband controls the wife. Now I may sound awkward to you while I'm saying this in 2022 when it comes to when you talk about the ideas of equality. Some people may say that why you are saying that as the husband controls the wives, similar is the way that the Prakriti, or you can say the God, the Lord controls the Prakriti. No, well, this is actually as per the Hindu tradition. I'm saying it in a positive sense. Controlling things is good in some way, right? And that is why it is given in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord, the Supreme Personality, controls the Prakriti, controls the material nature. Similarly, in the same way, the husband controls the activities of wife, not the wife itself. It is the activity of the wife in a positive sense that you must understand. So that's it for this video. I think I'm able to add certain value to your knowledge, and I will be coming up obviously with the second part of the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. I hope that you enjoyed and you got some enlightenment in your head. And I'm telling you, by the end of this video and by the end of this entire series that I'm coming up with, you will definitely gonna convert, you will definitely gonna change into a different personality. You will be an enlightened person. It is the most important and the best source to understand human being, the best source to solve the problems of mankind. Thank you.